Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now, my team, Derby County, once again failed to win a playoff final, so we're not going to be playing in the Premier League next year. But you know what? As a lifetime fan, I'm used to such torment. But what I did find heartwarming was how Prince William, future King of England, was seen wearing a baseball cap and anxiously counting down the seconds, shouting, "Come on, ref," urging the team to blow the full-time whistle, cheering on his team, which was Aston Villa. And to actually witness that kind of passion about sport from a royal was incredibly cool, I thought. But this is not a sport or even a royal podcast. It's a tech show, I hear you say. So let's get on with today's podcast. And I recently discovered a new and interesting project over at Travala.com, which is a next-generation online booking platform that leverages on tokenized incentive models to inject greater transparency and meaningful consumer engagement all into the Travala ecosystem. When using Travala.com, users can save up to 40%, but on average it's around 15%, I think. And this made me realise that with technology and the advent of online travel agents, this combination is ushering in a new era of choice, mobility and ease for travellers. Gone are the days of special trips to physical travel agents. Today, with a simple click or swipe of a thumb, you've booked your next holiday. Now, while online travel agencies are becoming a regular fixture in our everyday lives, they remain plagued by inefficiencies too, ranging from high commission fees for hotel partners and the ever-intensifying phenomenon of fake reviews. And we've all seen a few of those. So I reached out to seasoned tech entrepreneur and an advocate for the use of blockchain in this space, Matthew Luczynski. And he's the CEO and co-founder over at Travala.com. And I invited him on today so we could discuss the implications of existing monopolies in that online travel agency space, along with hidden fees, bloated margins, and paying more for even less, and so much more. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Vietnam so we can speak with Matthew Luczynski, founder and CEO of Travala.com. So, massive warm welcome to the show, Matt. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
So I'm Matt Luczynski. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Travala.com. And we are a global travel booking marketplace that accepts both cryptocurrencies and traditional currencies and provides access and a gateway to everyone to travel and book hotels all across the world.
Your openers really captured my attention straight away. You're speaking my language there. And especially when we look at, I think in 2019 alone, 843.9 million people are expected to avail of online travel booking services, amounting to a global revenue of $424 million US. But before we talk about Travala, can you set the scene and talk about that current travel landscape and the problems around it in a digital age?
Right now, we are seeing, a huge increase in people traveling, and we're expecting that to continuously grow. Now, one of the issues that we see and we have seen is that people in specific regions or people with specific types of currencies, say, aren't able to book those travel destinations or aren't able to access the travel-related products and services that they actually desire. So that's really what we see it with the travel landscape as a brief overall.
Now, physical travel agencies have all but disappeared from our high streets, and as the industry evolves, this is where I came across Travala.com, and from my understanding, Travala is a next-generation online booking platform that leverages tokenized incentive models to inject greater transparency and meaningful consumer engagement, all within the Travala ecosystem. But for everyone listening, they're just hearing about you guys for the very first time, can you tell them a little bit more about what it is and how you're tackling some of the problems we just discussed a few moments ago?
So yeah, like we did mention about providing access to everybody to be able to travel. So whether it's from cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, or fiat currencies, we currently have PayPal, debit and credit card, and we'll be adding multiple different localized currencies in a few months' time. Now, we want to provide access to all those people to be able to travel wherever they want, whenever they want. And with the uptake of cryptocurrency and the usage increasing massively, with the expected growth of cryptocurrency as well, with more people sort of becoming financially free with cryptocurrency, or potentially having a investment in crypto and not being able to use it, we're providing that gateway for people, one, to be able to use it for something that they really want to, travel, and two, being everywhere across the globe, with no limits to where you can book a travel related product, such as accommodation right now on the platform.
When I was researching you guys, I quickly learned, I think booking with Travala.com, users can save up to 40%, but on average around 15%. And Travala has grown to include 565,000 properties across 210 countries on its platform. So can you tell me more about this growth, and also any partners that you might have secured over the last year or so?
Yeah, so regarding, I'll split the partners and the travel-related partners. Now, the travel-related partners cover properties all over the world. So right now, we have partnered with 15 different wholesale suppliers all across the world. And now we've created a system that maps all those suppliers and gives the user the best possible price. Right now, we're only connected to a few of those, which is why you see that just over 500,000 properties on the platform. In the next 2 months, we will be releasing an update with actually 1.5 million properties on the platform across the 210 different countries. So that's massively increasing the platform's capabilities in terms of properties you're able to book. And it puts us onto the level of, well, Expedia and Booking.com in terms of properties and room nights available. So it's really going to put Travala up there with one of the best platforms to book accommodation. So that's the travel related partners that we have. And the crypto related partners. So recently we've partnered with Litecoin, and we've recently partnered with Bitcoin.com, which is Bitcoin Cash as well. And now they're two of the biggest players in the crypto industry. And the reason why we've partnered with them is they believe our vision of driving cryptocurrency adoption. And also they have huge reach, and they're able to, help us push forward with our goal of driving cryptocurrency adoption, which is, a key part and a key factor of sort of our background as founders, and also, the platform's vision and where we see future markets growing.
And are you only going to focus on accommodation, or do you think, I know it's very early on in your journey here and you probably can't answer this yet, but in the future, do you think you will go to flights and things like that if you get the right partnerships in place, or is accommodation what you're solely focusing on?
So right now, I can confirm that we do have the partnerships in place for flights. It's a case of when we are ready to add flights. It is a very, very big and bold move to, move from focusing on one product and making sure it's all right to focusing on two different kinds of products. It's also down to, future investment rounds where we decide to really focus in on and where we see the most growth. Right now, we are focused on accommodation. We will move to flights actually probably in around 12 to 24 months' time. We will have flights on the platform.
I'm curious, I've got to ask, where did the inspiration for Travala come from? I've got a feeling there's going to be a story behind your success and what put you where you are now. Yeah,
so from my point of view, what happened was I was at university. I was working on another travel startup. I finished university and I actually went traveling myself. It's something that I was really passionate about, and throughout university, I was always going to different countries and experiencing different things. I actually came to Vietnam. It was the first place I wanted to see. Me being me, I was speaking to different people about different concepts, and having been involved in the blockchain and crypto space since around 2011, 2012, I met my other co-founder, Steve, where we he was operational in the travel industry for about 25 years. So he had some really, really good knowledge and experience of sort of what we could do and what we could create. And then together we sort of came up with the concept of Travala.com, and we built it up from there. So, and basically since then we've built this awesome UX, this awesome platform that you can book all across the world. And that's really the story briefly.
And for anybody else that's passionate about travel here in 2019, the implications of those existing monopolies with those online travel agents are hidden fees, bloated margins, and actually paying more for even less choice. But I've got to ask, is that something that drives you and wanted you to, or a motivation to introduce that much needed change into the industry?
So with this, it is something that we see, and it is something that we have noted, and we've taken points in our planning scenarios, and it's something that does need to change. And with Travala, what we've created is a very disruptive platform that is tackling these issues to actually make sure that we don't do that and we don't follow that route. So our consumers will be able to see, okay, Travala is cheaper and Travala does offer me a better service, and Travala is there for me when XYZ happens, and we're really creating that sort of communal aspect and around the platform. I mean, right now we have, say, 18,000 members in a Telegram community. Those community members help everybody who comes to there to book something on the platform, which is really good. And we've created this community around the product and the platform is really what's helping us, support this model that we've created and this very disruptive platform.
So if we have any multitaskers listening to us on the train or the tube to work right now, and they're listening to this and they're opening up a browser, maybe just found you, they've gone to travala.com, what's the best way to get the most out of the platform and what to expect when they arrive on your website?
So firstly, create an account. Secondly, what you can do is we actually provide people, we've created a tokenized incentives system, which means that for performing different tasks on the platform, you actually get given our native token, our native cryptocurrency as a reward. So what you can do if you aren't booking straight away, you can refer a friend. If that friend chooses to book, yourself and your friend will receive $20 or around £18 worth of AVA tokens, and you can use that on your future bookings. So that's one way if you were just jumping on the platform straight away. Also, obviously, making a booking. You can make a booking. We are on average 15% cheaper, up to 40%. If you're going away, if it's a business trip, have a booking, see what it's like. Give us feedback and let us know whether we can improve on anything, because we always love improving.
Well, I was just about to ask there. Obviously, you book your accommodation, you pay through Litecoin or Bitcoin Cash. What's the role of the token? So listening to you there, the token is something that you can earn and get discounts on other future bookings. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And also what I didn't mention is for every single booking on the platform, regardless of how you pay, whether you pay with your credit card, cryptocurrency or whatnot, we will actually give you a 2% give back in our token. So everyone receives the token, whoever books on the platform. And that was one of our real goals and visions, to put cryptocurrency into the hands of every single person that comes to our platform. What we do with the token as well is there is also a membership program. So if you have so many of the tokens, we have a 5-tier membership program. It's called the Smart program. You can actually gain up to 10% discount on every single booking you make if you become the top tier membership on the platform.
And what is it you think that tokenization brings to the process here, and how do you think it fosters even more meaningful consumer relationships and essentially ecosystem growth? Because I would imagine it fuels that too, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it does exactly fuels ecosystem growth. It allows us to growth hack our way into the mainstream audience and into new users, which is very important for the platform for growth. And it also, it gives something back to every single user, which is important as well. That user, we want to feel valued, and we want to feel that, they are a part of something here. Once they receive that token and they use it on the platform, or if they take it off the platform and store it somewhere else, they are part of Travala. So that's really where the whole tokenized incentive system comes from and what it's for.
One of the things that really excites me about this is you seem to be cutting the middleman out and bringing the conversations back to just providers and travellers. Is that something that excites you?
Yeah, it's great to be part of, and it's great to bring a product that really does something different and really has a place in the future markets of the travel industry. I mean, for example, we've even had conversations with the likes of Airbus, which, as we know, they create most of the airplanes in the world. We've had conversations with their innovation team where they reached out to us and asked us how we built this tokenized incentive system because they're really interested in doing something like that themselves. So we really are starting to sort of position ourselves at the front of the travel industry, and really where, blockchain tokenized incentives models come to play with user adoption.
So as someone that's passionate about technology, passionate about travel, and you're working right at the heart of this industry and implementing meaningful change into that industry, how do you envision the future of the travel industry? And are there any emerging tech trends in this space that you've noticed?
Well, like I've just mentioned about the token incentives model. Now, that's essentially a flip on a traditional business model, which really, focuses and harbors in on consumer adoption and also growth hacking towards, taking users from other places. That's something that I personally see as it's going to become more of a bigger trend, especially across projects that are choosing to go and use different kinds of blockchain technology and different kinds of cryptocurrency systems within their traditional platforms. So that's really where I see the future of the travel industry going as well. I mean, like I just mentioned, Airbus reached out to us and asked us how we built that because they want to do something similar. They're one of the biggest players. So it just kind of highlights the point of what I'm trying to make.
Absolutely. So is there anything else you can share with us about that next 12 to 18 months ahead? Because we are coming out of crypto winter now and people are going to be wanting to spend their gains on maybe a summer holiday. Is there anything that you're working towards that you can share with us that you've not told us about yet?
First of all, what I can confirm is that our growth is massively up. I think it's around 80% month on month right now. Over the past month, where we seem to have come out of the crypto winter, we are seeing some really big cryptocurrency bookings being made on the platform. We actually took our biggest one last week, which was over, I think, $9,000 for one booking, which is, in the traditional with traditional currencies, we won't see anything like that. So in that sense, growth of the platform is going really well. Awesome. What we do know, what's coming soon, is we have partnered and become hotel provider for some of the biggest cryptocurrency conferences in the world. One of them being the Bitcoin Conference 2019 in San Francisco in a few weeks' time. There's one in London as well, Crypto Compare. And we have also partnered with the biggest conference in Asia, and that's set to be released. I can't actually release exactly which conference it is, but it's set to be released in the next few weeks. We are working on some other partnerships as well, some high-profile currencies, which, again, will be getting released in due course. So we're really excited at the minute to sort of see where we are moving, because there's an awful lot going on behind the scenes here at Travala.com.
And for anyone listening that just wants to find out more information, you mentioned the website, Travala.com. But if they want to keep up to speed with any announcements and follow you on your social channels, can you just give people a quick reminder of how they can find you online?
Yeah, so best place would be Twitter. Our tag is Travala.com. We also have Instagram, same tag. You can, through the Twitter, you'll be able to find us on different platforms. At the bottom of Travala.com website, there's also multiple links there to all our social channels. So that's probably the easiest way to access and speak to us. We are active on Twitter, myself also, my personal Twitter. We're active all the time, and we're happy to speak with anybody about anything.
Well, I'll add all those links to the blog post that will accompany this podcast. I love how passionate you are about travel and technology, and have used those passions to create Travala.com now. It's amazing what you're doing. I always say at the end of every episode that technology works best when it brings people together, and that's exactly what you're doing here. So a big thank you for taking the time to come on and share that story with me today. Thanks, Matt.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me.
In a digital age and the rise of the experience economy, it's great to hear about the value of engagement and how tokenization fosters even more meaningful consumer relationships and ecosystem growth. So forget about hype, fear, uncertainty and doubt that surrounds tokenization and a lot of blockchain projects out there. It's here to stay. And for those of you that are listening thinking, well, why do you think this now? For me, it's projects such as Travala.com and how they're cutting out the middleman, essentially bringing the conversation back to providers and travellers in this instance. And as someone that is passionate about travel, I cannot thank Matt enough for coming on the show today to not only share his insights around the future of the travel industry and the emerging tech trends in this space, but also the work that he's doing with Travala. So I'll add the links to Travala.com connecting with Matt and all the social channels over on my website, techblogwriter.co.uk. If you browse to the podcast, you'll be able to find Matt and all of my interviews. And if you do visit Travala.com, please let me know your initial thoughts, both good and bad. And also, whether it be travel, blockchain, tokenization, anything at all, I'm sat here waiting for your messages, and I want to share it with all the listeners to this show that are scattered all over the world. So please, contact me at techblogwriter@outlook.com. You get me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all the usual channels. Just look for Neil C. Hughes. Now, all this talk of travel has got me a little bit excited because regular listeners will know every year I book an annual adventure with my son. We just enjoy a bit of time going off the grid and spending a bit of quality time together. And this year, I'm thinking about Slovenia. So if we have any listeners that live in that part of the world or people that love that part of the world, please let me know. But for now, I'm going to wish you all a fond farewell and say a big thank you for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.